Good morning. I'm in my office in California, and this is my last day here for a few days, and I'm going to Australia and also to India to actually inaugurate the first Chopra Center healing program. It's going to be a Chopra Healing Center in Pondicherry in India. Pondicherry is a former French colony in India and the home of Sri Aurobindo. Okay, before I talk about today's topic, which is how to be emotionally healthy, I want to remind you again of the upcoming Sages and Sciences Conference, September 9th through 11th at the Beverly Hills, Wilshire, and we hope to see you there. There'll be lots of scientists, philosophers, biologists, theorists, humanitarians, and it'll be an amazing conference. Check out the URL, which is chopra.com/sages. Okay, today I want to talk about emotional health. Our emotional well-being is directly linked to our physical well-being because our emotions are very much involved in the regulation of our biology. So if you look at your brain from the side, and if I open my hands up where you see my thumb, that is the emotional brain, also referred to as the limbic brain. And the limbic brain regulates our emotions. Rather, we regulate our emotions using the limbic brain. When you're experiencing healthy emotions of feeling connected, when you feel love, when you feel empathy, when you feel joy, when you feel happy, when you feel peaceful, when you feel compassion, then that sets up a neuroendocrine axis which helps regulate your body. Self-regulation is enhanced, and that is also called homeostasis, and that is the healing response. On the other hand, if you feel stress, if you feel fear, if you feel anger, if you feel hostility, guilt, shame, or depression, then that results in a feeling of disconnectedness from life and from everyone else, and that causes a neuroendocrine biological axis that disrupts homeostasis or self-regulation or healing. So emotional well-being is very important for our physical well-being. I already mentioned the healthy emotions and the unhealthy emotions. So let's look at how we get emotional distress by defining the emotions. Fear is the anticipation of pain in the future. Anger is the memory of pain in the past. Hostility is a desire for vengeance and getting even. Guilt is the direction of pain at yourself. And then, of course, there are other things that follow. Guilt leads to shame and distress that comes from shame, and then all the depletion of energy that happens results in depression. Basically, that's the psychopathology of emotional distress that leads to physical distress. Here are the various steps in getting healthy emotional freedom. First, take responsibility for your emotions. Second, learn to witness your emotions in your body without judgment. Third, label the emotion. Fourth, express the emotion through several perspectives. Fifth, share the emotion with somebody you trust. Sixth, release the emotion through some ritual. And seventh, celebrate the release and move on. Okay? So right now you could close your eyes and remember a distressful experience. And if you remember the distressful experience, you will immediately feel some discomfort in your body, usually in one of the chakras. So just be aware of that distress without any evaluation. Remember something, be aware of the distress if the emotion experience was distressing. So usually you'll see it's here or here. Try not to be a victim, and that's taking responsibility. So try to now describe the emotion in very simple ways. Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it hostility? Is it frustration? Is it jealousy? Is it sadness? Is it fear? Don't say it's somebody's fault. Describe your own emotion. So don't say I was abused, abandoned, etc. Okay, so you've taken responsibility, you witnessed it somewhere, anywhere in the chakras, and now you have labeled it without being a victim. Now express it to yourself in the first person. Tell yourself what happened, etc., etc., what you thought of the whole thing, whose fault it was. And having done that, it takes a few minutes, then you describe it in the second person. You pretend that you're the other person in the situation, and you write it down from their perspective. And then you describe it in the third person, as if you're a reporter for a newspaper and you have no vested interest in either first person or second person, third person. When you write it down and you express the emotion from three perspectives, you will see that it loses its energy. The energy diffuses. Now what you do is you share this whole process with somebody you trust. It could be the person that you had the situation with, but it could also be somebody else that you trust, either a good friend or a sibling or a significant other, but somebody that you trust. Okay, that is called sharing the emotion. And then create a ritual for release. So write down all that thing and burn it up and flush it down the toilet or throw it in a river or go to the church and release it to a deity, whatever. And once you've released it, then you celebrate, go out, you can celebrate. By the way, release can also be a breathing process, it can be a meditation, it can be a yoga exercise, it can be a physical process. And now you just go and celebrate the release. This is how you stay emotionally free. The second thing is you learn to get in touch with other people's feelings, learn the art of listening and empathy by becoming a non-judgmental observer, and then at least showing and having the intention to participate in the alleviation of suffering of others, because empathy always leads to compassion, and compassion always ultimately leads to love, and love ultimately leads to healing. And then the third thing you do is you always use non-violent communication. The four principles of non-violent communication are what am I observing, what am I feeling, what is the need, how do I best fulfill this need. In the case of the other person, what are you observing, what are you feeling, what do you need, how can I help you fulfill the need. So you'll see that all needs come into the following categories. First need, survival and safety. Second need, achievement. Third need, love and belonging. Fourth need, validation and self-esteem. Fifth need, intuition and creativity. Sixth need, higher consciousness. Seventh need, self-actualization or enlightenment. Think of this for yourself and think of this for the other as well. And always be asking these questions: observation, feeling, need, and the best way to fulfill this need. So now, when we combine all these, emotional freedom through the 7 steps I outlined, and the second thing is empathy, compassion, and love. And the third, non-violent communication. This is the way to always be emotionally healthy. And when you're emotionally healthy, then your biology will respond by being physically healthy. Simple. Stay in the habit of being emotionally healthy. Don't hold grievances, don't hold resentments, and that way you'll be even more freer. In the Course of Miracles, there's an expression: every choice I make, every decision I make is a choice between a grievance and a miracle. Every decision I make is a choice between a grievance and miracle. So Robin Branbury is saying higher consciousness. Yes, this is a prelude to higher consciousness. Higher consciousness involves more than emotion. Higher consciousness involves more than emotional freedom. It also involves what we call intuition, creativity, insight, soul consciousness, cosmic consciousness, and divine consciousness, and unity consciousness or enlightenment. I'll do a full talk on that later. And tomorrow, actually, I'm going to Los Angeles to record a full program on holography, on how to create an enlightened brain, complete with special effects and so on. Okay, this is it for today, Monday morning, and I wish you a wonderful day. As I said, I'm traveling to Australia, where I'll be doing a talk on super genes and the future of well-being, and I'll stay connected from Australia. Also, we'll stay connected from India, where we're going to be opening the first Chopra healing center in the world, with all kinds of healers and also people specially trained in the techniques of energy healing, Ayurveda, and more. Thank you very much, and wish you a wonderful day. Thank you. Take care.